Hey guys, welcome, another video. Today we're going to be making mince pies. If you remember a few weeks ago, previous video, we made some mince meat. Here's my mince meat I made. It's been in my fridge. But yeah, hopefully quick video today. We'll make some sweet pastry, roll it out, cut it into the tins with the mince meat. Job's a good one. Get everyone in the Christmas spirit, hopefully. It's an easy one. So, to start off with, A blade, K blade. We've got 250 grams of plain flour. In that goes 65 grams of icing sugar. Pop that in. And then there's 125 grams of softened butter. Pop that in as well. Into the mixer. And mix until it resembles fine breadcrumbs. So, once your mix in the machine is all together and looks like fine breadcrumbs, or sort of like a light coloured sand, as long as there's no sort of big blobs of butter still, should be fine. Next up, you're going to pop in one large cold egg. Cold is important. If you don't keep your eggs in the fridge already, if you're going to make the sweet pastry, just pop it into the fridge for sort of half an hour or so before. So, working with sweet pastry, you need to keep things cool, or any pastry, you need to keep things cool. And this is just one way of helping it. Helps bring the pastry together tight. So yeah, pop that in. Your dough should all come together nicely. If it doesn't, if there's still lots of little bits of dough that aren't quite coming together, just stop the machine and bring it together with your hands. You don't want to overwork it. Pastry will be no good. So yeah, pop the egg in and we'll be back. So once that's all mixed in together, you'll have your pastry right here. It's all together. In previous recipes or previous videos, you may have seen I've put the pastry in the fridge for half an hour or so. With this, because they cook so quickly and stuff, we don't need to bother with that. We can roll it out straight away, pop it in the pastry tins. There's no need to blind bake these because they're so small you don't have to blind bake them. So we'll crack on. Split the dough into sort of 2/3 and 1/3 because I've got my cutters here, and you can use whatever cutters you want. So I've got a round one to go over the bigger hole, obviously, and a star to go on the top. This is roughly twice the size of that, so my reckoning is 2/3 and 1/3. In theory, doesn't always work that way. So we'll do the bottoms first, obviously. I think my 24 mince pies was optimistic with this much pastry. Let's go for 12. So, make some space. So you need to dust the surface down. Again, if you've got a dredger, use a dredger. I haven't, so you can just sort of flick your wrists, and it gives a nice even covering of flour. Again, pull over the pastry, flatten the pastry out a wee bit in the middle. Flour the rolling pin, and then roll away. You want the pastry quite thin, because they're just tiny little tarts. Always. And remember, just roll forward with the pastry. If it starts sticking like there, a little bit of flour, brush that on, will stop that sticking. Roll once and twist the pastry. Okay, so then use your cutter, press firm, start at the edge, and just go right next to the one you did previously, so that way there's little wastage. Keep the offcuts. We can roll that out again one more time, so we'll get a few more mince pies. We might do 24, we'll see. But next up, we're going to cut the tops, pre-flour, and use your star cutter and just cut away. So I've got my stars. I managed to get 18 out of the part I rolled. Roll out the pastry one more time. Hopefully we might get another 12, who knows. Re-flour. Flour is key. So once you've finished cutting out all your stars and your bottoms, then we can put them in the tins. So starting with the bottoms. Tins like this are normally non-stick, so it's not a problem. If If you haven't got non-stick ones, worth to pay a little bit more. It's a lot easier, it saves a lot of work. But yeah, non-stick. So take your bottom and just press it lightly down into the mould. So next up, when they're all full, we're going to start with the mincemeat. You don't want to overfill them because the mix will go everywhere. Start off with about a teaspoon. Oh, that smells good. Pop that in. Just lightly press it down the back of the spoon. We'll do that with all of them, and then we'll put the tops on. Once all the fillings in, then you can add the lids. Just a stir in the middle. You don't need to press down too hard. We'll pop them all on. So when all the lids are on, you want to take some egg wash. It's just one egg, that's all it is, just beating up. Nice soft pastry brush. And you just want to go over the top of the star. Try not to hit the edge. If you hit the edge, the egg will stick to the tin a bit. So just try and go over the star. And then, in the middle of each star, I'm just going to sprinkle a few sliced almonds. You don't have to if you don't have them, don't worry. It's just to make it a bit pretty for Christmas. And then, on top of that, I've just got a little bit of soft, light brown sugar mixed with cinnamon. It's literally like 1 teaspoon of sugar and a 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. If you've got normal caster sugar, that's fine. And just a little sprinkle on the top of each one. And that's it. Once the sugar's on the top, the almonds, the egg, the pastry, it's all good. And we can put it in the oven. So on 180, it's going to take about 10 or 15 minutes, or not long at all. You just want them nice and brown on top, and that's long enough to clear up. So I'll pop them in and we'll be back. Okay guys, so they've just come out of the oven, smell amazing. If you can see, just a little bit bubbling still. Let them cool down in the tins for a couple of minutes, and then when you can, they should just sort of slide out non-stick, as you can see. And then put them onto the cooling rack underneath. But like I say, leave them a couple of minutes, let them cool down so you don't burn your fingers. They are very hot. And yeah, we'll come back, we'll taste one. They smell amazing. Okay guys, so they've been cooling down for about 10 minutes now. If you can see, they're nice, dainty little pie, nice and golden. The almonds on top. The cinnamon sugar gives it a bit of crunch. The pastry, nice and short. So, to finish these off, just a little shake of some ice and sugar. If you've got like a tea strainer, that's perfect. Just a little bit of snow on top because it's Christmas. And there you have it. We've got 24 mince pies. Here's mine. I hope it's not too hot, but enjoy yours. And if you don't watch any more before Christmas, have a very good Christmas.